Welcome to Layn Turo University. My name's Conrad Layn. I'm going to share that unfortunately a lot of people are getting kicked off the Turo platform. I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to go over a few reasons why and that I've experienced with different hosts that have told me their situations. And unfortunately, this is what's going on, but I just want to report this to you guys. So first and foremost, if for anyone who's following my channel or knows about me or you're learning about me or know this, I actually like to diversify. The same is true for my career. I'm a real estate licensed. I'm also insurance licensed. Completely different industries. I invest in stocks, but I also am a business consultant. I have different incomes coming in. I like to diversify myself. So if there's a fire and everything, at least I have other boats I could go to. Get what I'm saying? Other houses I can go to. The same is true when I invest in stocks. I actually look at opposite companies. Okay, I'll invest in, let's see, AT&T, for example. Stock ticker is T. Okay, that's a more conservative stock, for example. And then I'll invest in a company like Tesla. That's more growth, for example. There's a lot of different scrutiny and different opinions of who. This isn't meant to be political. It's not meant to. It's just an example saying they're completely different companies. And I like to invest in different companies because I believe I want to offset as much risk as possible. I'm actually a business consultant, and I specialize in insurance mitigation, which means risk reduction. That's my specialty. So my second nature is to, and really my primary nature at this point, is to actually offset risk as much as possible, but with proper strategies. And I'm not perfect. And at the end of each of my videos, you'll see a character of myself, really, at least dancing. And that just represents that I dance with risk. I never could get rid of risk, but I dance with it. So you might see me dance at the end. Like that's the end of my video. That's the representation of that. So dancing with risk. So this is the thing you have to always consider. This is that as you actually grow your business, there's always going to be risk. That you can't avoid that. So the point is this: once you actually grow your company, or if you're starting off with your company, you have to basically offset the risk as much as possible. Now with Turo, one thing I like to do is I like to actually diversify my incomes. Same with Turo. This Turo may kick you off. Turo is a great company. I'm a huge fanboy of Turo. We're all disposable. And this is not meant to be negative. It means that you're human. Turo is ran by humans. And sometimes, what if the territory closes down? What if they say, you know what, Los Angeles territory, done. Or what if we're not going to work in this country anymore? Done. What if there's something else that happens where it's just out of your control? You know what I mean? So the thing is that, what if you make a mistake? What if someone lies on you? What if you actually have a car that has a recall? And then Turo, in my perspective, which is a great decision though, you want to keep the car safe, so you can't rent your car. That happened to me. However, my car went through a recall, but I bought the car like that, and I knew it had a recall, but I knew how to get it done really quickly. I have a video about that I released months ago, how to go through a safety recall fast by contacting the proper organization, you get it done for free anyway. But I got this car at such a great price. I was willing to actually put the car on, knowing I had a safety recall, but I got it done very quick though. And now it's been making money ever since. Been a great car actually. So that's the thing. Turo sometimes will do what it needs to do to keep people safe. And maybe you have an unsafe car. That's one reason they might take you out. Maybe you have a car and you can't make money. It has safety recall on it. That's a liability to them, and it's not safe for the consumer, which I actually agree with. I'm in insurance as well. That's smart, and I think that that's an ethical thing to do, actually. I actually applaud to it. But the same is true to us, though. That hinders us because maybe we have a car that's not our fault. We didn't build the car. We just bought the car to make money, or we had a car sitting in the garage. That's not your fault, but now you can't rent it. You need to figure out how to actually rent your car out in different platforms. I'm also a hire car owner, and for all you that don't know, I'm a bit in the reverse. Most people you might see on YouTube started with Turo first. That's not my story. My story is actually I have a finance background, but most importantly is that I started with hire car first. I was a hire car owner way before Turo, and then I grew. I had 10 cars on Turo on the hire car platform, which did phenomenal. Then I decided to actually diversify and add myself to Turo. I did this because it was my strategy. My strategy is to put myself on as many platforms as possible, but not to circumvent the contract or policy, because Turo, and I mentioned this many times, I would record many videos about this, that Turo does not allow you to add the same car on multiple platforms. There's an exclusivity agreement, and make sure any platform you join, if you have an exclusivity agreement, understand that. If you're going to put it on a different platform, take it off the first platform, take it off Turo, and then add it. I like purchasing other cars and adding them to different platforms that never go on the Turo platform. So, for example, I have a whole fleet of cars on Hyre that have never been on Turo, and I don't anticipate them to ever be on Turo. And if I ever want to do that, I'll take it off Hyre and only add on Turo then, and vice versa. I don't want my cars on Turo to be on Hyre. I keep them completely separate because I honor the contract and the policy. There is an exclusivity agreement, and for good reason. Like I said, I have a background in insurance. I understand the liability portion of that, so it makes perfect sense actually. But the point is, you might get kicked off because maybe you have too many bad reviews, too low stars. You have maybe 2 stars, 1 stars, 3 stars. Maybe you have really bad star rating as a host. Maybe you have a lot of complaints. Maybe you file too many insurance claims. When you file too many insurance claims in general, because I also am an insurance agent, when we file too many insurance claims, typically your insurance can actually conduct investigation on you and void your policy out. If you file too many claims, it could be fraudulent. It could be that you're just too high of a risk. Even if it is good reason, maybe you're too high of a risk because they're a business at the end of the day. And Turo goes through the same scrutiny. They have to actually figure out and manage, hey, are you a good risk or not? They're in the business of mitigating risk as well. So I understand. So you have to understand, if you're filing too many claims, you might be kicked off for that. That's just how it is, people. So always understand to diversify in stocks in your business, in Hyre and Turo. Don't just be on Hyre, don't just be on Turo, in my opinion. Be on both. Consider maybe GetAround, consider some other platforms, and keep separate cars on those as you grow. That's what I highly recommend, because at the end of the day, Turo is kicking people off. They are deleting people's profiles. They are getting people off. They are taking people out, because at the end of the day, we don't control it. We're just a partner to Turo. We're affiliated with them, but we don't own the company, and we're not the board. So at the end of the day, do your best to follow the rules, play nice, but understand that at the end of the day, we're all disposable. And I don't mean to sound negative. That's not meant. But I'm just saying, protect yourself and offset risk by considering other platforms as well, and have higher car fleet, but have a separate fleet for Turo and maybe a separate fleet for GetAround, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's how you do it. That's my personal opinion. Again, I'm a huge fan. I love Turo. I think it's a great company, but always understand that Turo, and any company, not just Turo, any company in general, I don't care if it's McDonald's, I don't care. At the end of the day, if they want to fire you, they can fire you. It's their business, not yours. You don't have to control. You're just participating. And the same is true, and another thing is, Turo has a brand where they want to market themselves more as that luxury brand, the experience, which I am totally behind. I love that about Turo. I love the fact that you can go on Turo and rent the craziest, coolest cars. And it's just like a luxury. It's like having a black car. It's like almost like a small club. I love that. So you're not gonna hear anything bad about me bad about Turo for me. Is I love Turo, but the reality is, at the end of the day, however, they have an image they're marketing, and if you don't fit that image, or you're not representing in your 5-star reviews, or you're not representing that you have bad reviews or filthy cars, or you're not keeping the cars up, or they're unsafe, or they're going through safety recalls, you're not fitting the brand that Turo is implementing. So you have to understand that, just like if you're an employee somewhere, if you work for, I don't care if it's McDonald's, I don't care if it's USPS, if you're working for the postal service, if you're a mailman, mailwoman, if you work for Ralph's, if you show up at work with no uniform, or you're cursing, or you're breaking the rules, they can fire you, let you go. So you're not fitting what they actually represent as a company, the image. Understand that, because you don't control the company. But if you start your own store and you do all that, hey, that's cool. That's your business. So understand that when you actually affiliate yourself with a business, think of this almost like a franchise or like a job, that you don't own the company, but you're affiliating, you're a partner of the company. So they have their rules in place. You need to follow those rules. And that's how it is. Don't get mad at Turo. Understand. I mean, yeah, it can be disappointing sometimes, but understand it's their business. So to offset that, join with other businesses as well, and then offset that risk. But follow the rules. Don't have cars on multiple platforms to circumvent your exclusivity policy with Turo. Make sure you honor their policy and take advantage of the privilege of, they are a great company. That, just be honest, they're awesome. But understand that you can go any day if you don't follow the rules. If you are a criminal, if you do bad things, if you break the policy and terms and conditions, if you're a bad host to people, you treat people bad, if you give dirty cars, if you give like very bad service, they can get rid of you. And even if you are great, if your maybe stars get too low, if someone lies on you, that can happen. Someone can lie on you, and they might let you go for that. The point is, if you file too many claims, even if you just, whatever the case is, always protect yourself by diversifying. Diversification. That's how you do it. Love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram at Conrad Layn. Peace.